Is it your dream to work as a nurse in Canada? If your answer is yes, then I've got you covered. In this video, we are going on a hunting expedition. What do I mean by this? We are going to look at the processes one has to go through to finally become a registered nurse in Canada. So, if you are interested in this video, then why don't you come with me as we explore? If you are new on this channel, I officially welcome you, and if you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome to this channel once again. What I want you to do for me is to subscribe to this channel. Now, when you subscribe to this channel, what we've done is that you get most of the teachings and the explorations I make with regards to working as a nurse in the UK, working as a nurse in Canada, working as a nurse in the USA, and perhaps how to finally pass IELTS in the first attempt. This is the main purpose of the establishment of this channel. So if you want to learn more, then please do subscribe so that you get more of my videos. Okay. Alright, so to do that, just click the subscribe button right under this video and you are good to go. Just become part of the family and let's explore together. Alright, so as I promised you, we are going to look at the process you have to go through to finally become a nurse in Canada. You may not be interested in working in the UK as a nurse. You may not be interested in working in the USA as a nurse, but your dream country is the Canada. The question is, how do you maneuver your way to become a nurse in Canada? And that is what you are going to look at in this video. So just stay tuned, feel comfortable, just grab yourself a cup of water, okay? And let's start the whole process. Alright, so to become a nurse in Canada, you see, every country requires different process. To work as a nurse in the UK, you have to go through a process, and it's quite different from you becoming a nurse in the Canada or the USA. So I usually prefer to explore to just see how each of these countries receive nurses from the different parts of the world to work in there. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is that as part of the exploration, what I did was I did an initial research, or I would say a pre-research, just to make sure that I get an authentic website to give us the information we need. I'll try as much as possible to leave this website in the description box so that anyone who has a desire to work as a nurse in Canada can follow that website to basically maneuver his or her way through. Alright, so just make sure you check the description box. I'll leave the link in there. Alright, so as I said, I previously made a research about this and I got an authentic website. Well, I won't say it's that authentic, but I believe, it's quite good to give us the information we need to be more certain on what we are looking for. Okay, so I copied this website and I'm going to paste it straight into the browser and we can start the process. Okay, so the website here is www.canadianimmigration.net/work/nurses/. Right, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to memorize. I'll leave it in the description box. You just have to check that one out. Okay, so basically this is the page. Upon my research, I realized that this page was giving more authentic information as regards to, or as compared to the other sites or other information I read, and this is what we are going to follow in today's video. Remember, we are going to explore. We are on a hunting expedition. We are just exploring to see the process. So if you are interested, you can just type into that and start your whole process. Alright, so upon my research, I got to realize that to become a nurse in Canada, you require 3 basic processes. Alright, and the first one has to do with diving much into research. And what do I mean by this? You have to research on the province you want to work. You see, one thing I've got to realize about Canada is that, you see, Canada has got about 10 provinces. When I say provinces, what I mean is that it can be referred to as states or regions. So in other words, Canada has got about 10 regions, and each of these regions has a regulatory body. Okay, or let me say, each of these regions has a body that regulates nurses. So it's like they have 10 regulatory bodies, as compared to other countries that have only one regulatory body that has to see to the well-being of nurses. Okay, So once you know this, what you have to do is that your first research has to do with, which of these province or which of these regions do you want to work with. If you want to work with province A, then what you have to do is that you have to register with province A. If you want to work with province B, what you have to do is that you have to register with province B, and that is the first thing I'm going to do today. I'm going to look at the provinces. I'm going to make an extensive research about the provinces and look at their requirements. Okay, that is the basic thing we are going to do in this video. But before that, let me outline the processes we go through, and as and when they come up, I will let you know. Right? So the first process you have to know to become a nurse in Canada is to make an extensive research on the province association. Okay, that is what I explained, that regulatory body. So you just have to decide. So the second step you have to take after you are done with your research is to self-assess and apply to a province. So once you have applied to a province and you have been granted a temporary permit, what you have to do is that you have to apply to sit for the Canadian registered nurse examination. So these are the three basic processes you have to go through. You don't have to panic, okay? I'm going to take you through this step-by-step process and we know how it goes. This is an extensive research I made, and I believe that you are looking for this information as well. What I would expect you to do is that if you have still not subscribed to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button, because I've got tons of information to share with you. For all you know, I may not be able to give you all the information you need in this video, but I may do that on my subsequent ones. So if you don't subscribe, it will be very difficult for you to get the video to watch. Okay, alright, so with these processes known, what we are going to do is that we are going to look at the provinces. We are going to make an extensive research at the provinces available. Okay, so come with me as we do that. Okay, so the first province we have here is Alberta. So if you want to work in this province, you have to apply to the regulatory body in this province, alright? And the second one here is the British Columbia. So basically, you just have to apply to the British Columbia regulatory body, and you are good to go. The third province is Manitoba. Okay, and we also have the New Brunswick. We also have the Newfoundland and Labrador. We also have Nova Scotia. So they also have a province known as Nova Scotia. So if you want to work there, they also have a separate regulatory body for nurses. And there is Ontario, Quebec, and there is Prince Edward Island. And the last one here is the name is quite tricky to pronounce, so you can see that on the screen. Okay, Saskatchewan. That's how I prefer to pronounce it. So these are basically the 10 provinces that you have to know to start your process. Now that you know these provinces, what we are going to do is that we are going to look at the second step, which has to do with trying to apply to the province you prefer. So up to now, you should be able to decide which province you want to work in. Okay, but I think you don't have to rush. You can try as much as possible to make an extensive research about each of these provinces. Or what you have to do is that you can just follow this video, and I believe that as we go through the requirements each one of these require, all you have to do is that you'll be able to figure out which of the requirements you have available, and you're able to sideline one province from the other. So now let's say you have interest working in the British Columbia province. How do you apply to the regulatory body in there? That is what we are going to look at next. So the simple trick I'm going to show you here is that, you see, to be able to start your application to the regulatory body, so you just have to know the procedure, okay? And you also have to know the processing time. How long is it going to take for them to respond to you? How long is it going to take for them to actually get yourself in Canada? Okay, so you can see all of them here, and the fee you have to pay as part of your registration with this regulatory body. You can also see the language proficiency test and additional qualification the regulatory body wants you to provide, and other options like the PNN, which I have no idea about it now, and the application form, the website to get the application form. You don't have to stress yourself trying to maneuver a way to get application form. I will make sure that I leave everything in the description box so that you try to work that out yourself, right? Okay. So now that we know this, we are going to start with the procedure for the British Columbia. Alright, so the procedure here is that first of all you have to provide evidence of your RN certification. And what this means is that you should be a nurse, a registered nurse in your home country. You should have a PIN or a certificate actually certifying that you are a nurse, and that is one of the first requirements. So once you register with this regulatory body, you'll be asked to provide a certification, a registered nurse certification, as a proof that you are a nurse. And if you deem qualified, you'll be approved. Alright, so if deemed qualified, you receive approval. If not, you'll be asked to do a substantially equivalent competency assessment. Well, I don't know what that is, but let's go to Google and then make an extensive research about it. So let me just copy, let me go back and then copy this substantially equivalent assessment. So just know that if you don't have an RN certification, or if it's not approved, then you have to go by this method. Okay, alright, so let me paste it in here and we'll get to know what that is. So let's see. So let's look at a simplified information here telling us about the SEC, or the Substantially Equivalent Competence Assessment. So the provincial regulatory body may require internationally educated nurses to complete a substantially equivalent competency assessment. To complete a SEC, you must fill the following requirements: meet your provincial regulatory body's English language test requirements, have a letter from your provincial regulatory body indicating the need for assessment. You may be required to have an assessment in the areas of general nursing, maternal, newborn. Okay, I get it. You see, it's like nurses, it can be compared to something like CBT. So for those who have idea about CBT, see, when you want to work in the UK, you are required to write your field exam, which is the CBT. Okay, so for Canada, if you are unable to provide a certified or an approved RN certification, and what this means is that they will have to assess you to see if you are indeed a nurse. And to do that, they basically have to do what we call a substantially equivalent competency assessment. This is like questions that pertains to general nursing. That is, if you are a registered nurse, or if you are basically a midwife, you have to answer questions that have to do with maternal, newborn health nursing, or child health nursing, or mental health nursing. That is, if you're a mental health nurse. Okay, so I think it's well understood here. Alright, yeah, so you can read more about it, and I believe that will help you to have a better understanding of it. Alright, so let's go back to this particular point. So let's look at the process, or the processing time. How long is it going to take for the regulatory body of the British Columbia to attend to you, or to give you whatever you need to carry on with your process? So here it will take 3 to 6 months. So you have to exercise patience, okay? And the fee you have to pay as part of you registering with the regulatory body is $560, right? Okay, and let's look at the requirements. You need an English proficiency requirement. Okay, you need something to prove that you can communicate in English. And here there are 2 English proficiency requirements this regulatory body need from you. We have one called the Celban. Okay, I don't know what that is, but let's go and then look at it. Let's copy, paste it in a new search button, and let's see what this is all about. Alright, so the Celban Center. So the Celban is known internationally as a unique nursing specific purpose language exams. So I think it's similar to IELTS, alright, and is informed by nursing and language testing professionals. Celbans reflect authentic nursing communication and evaluate English language proficiency in listening, writing, reading, and speaking. So it's something similar to the IELTS, alright. So I don't know how you can register for these exams, but you don't have to worry, because there's another alternative which has to do with the IELTS. IELTS is common. It is written in almost every country. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So you have to write the IELTS academic. If you are not writing the Celban, then you should have the IELTS academic as a proof of your English proficiency. Alright. So let's look at their minimum requirements. Okay. So now, once I clicked on that, you see it has brought me to the regulatory body's website. Okay, and you can see that you have how to apply for registration. So I just wanted to find out the minimum score for the IELTS they require. Okay, because I believe there are some people who have written the IELTS already and would want to know if they fit to apply to this regulatory body. So let's scroll down and see. Okay, you have registered nurse. Let me click on that and see if you can basically get the requirements. So internationally educated nurses. So let's look at this. Internationally educated nurses who have never been registered in Canada may be eligible for registration to practice as RN in British Columbia. Okay, that's good. Before starting a BCCNM application, you don't have to worry about that long acronym. You must first apply to the National Nursing Assessment Service. Alright, so you see how things are linking up. Okay, so once you apply to them, they will just direct you to where you have to go. Okay, so the process becomes very easy. So I don't think I should even talk about or move on to the next process. Once you start with your push, the first one, which has to do with applying to the regulatory body you prefer, the process will just link up, and you finally, you get yourself in Canada. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. I just want us to know the band score requirements for the IELTS. Okay, and you can read more about it. So let's see, learn more about the BCC English requirements and how to make it. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, I'm looking for IELTS. Alright, so let me just click on this particular point, and alright, there we are. We are there. Our research is actually sourcing. So if you are a nurse basically in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and wherever, and you desire to work with a Canadian and regulatory body as a nurse, it's still possible. I just want to promise you it's possible. You just have to understand the process. That's the most important thing. So people do ask me, how do I register as a nurse? How do I become a nurse in Canada? And this is what we are exploring today. Still remember, this is a hunting expedition. I'm just trying to see how things go with regards to becoming a nurse in Canada. I wish to work in Canada one day, and I think I will follow this process as well. Yeah, I'll follow this process. So we all meet in Canada one day. Yeah. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and you are good to go. Okay, so what we are going to do here is that, you see, there is a Canadian, the Celban I talked about. It stands for Canadian English Language Benchmark Assessment for Nurses. So you can read more about it. I'll try to leave the link in the description box so that you can read more about it. Okay, and because it's not quite familiar, I would recommend that you stick to the IELTS. So you may have written IELTS, you may have written in past, and you are looking for different angles to actually apply or to use your resource for which you wrote. Let's look at the requirements for the IELTS. So you must write the IELTS academic. So if you did the general training, you are disqualified. You don't qualify to basically apply here. So what is required of you is to have an overall band score of 7. Is it that easy? Yeah. It's quite flexible. Yeah, and your speaking band score should be 7 as well. Your listening should be 7.5. Your reading should be 6.5, and your writing should be 7. So I think this is quite easy. So people who are usually finding it difficult to conquer the English test, the IELTS English test, it's quite flexible. So if you had 6.5 in the IELTS reading test, you still qualify, provided you had higher band score in the other areas as well. So you don't have to worry. So all you need is 6.5 in reading test, 7 in writing, 7 7.5 in listening, and 7 in speaking, and she have an overall band score of 7. I mean, it's quite easy. So if you have a resource that pictures or that depicts what you are seeing on the screen now, then you qualify to apply to the regulatory body of the British Columbia. Yeah. So now that we know this, let's move on to look at the process. Alright, so now that we know the minimum score for our IELTS, so now let's look at additional qualifications. So here it says that no bias towards one country. So it means that whether you are coming from Africa, whether you are coming from Europe, whether you are coming from wherever, you still qualify to apply. There is no bias. You assess every person equally. I mean, that's a good thing. Yeah, I really love this. And let's see, PNP option. I mean, just don't have to worry about that. And the most important thing here is how to apply. So they have the application form here. What I'm going to do is that I'll leave this in the description box. Okay, so I'll try as much as possible to leave each one of the application forms, the website to apply, in the description box. All you have to do is to just check that out and try applying. You can apply to as many as you want, and wherever your light shines, you just have to pick it from there. Just try as much as possible to do me a favor by subscribing to my channel, because I've got tons of information to share with you. So if it's your dream to become a nurse in Canada, then I've opened the way for you. Alright, I'm going to apply. I also wish to work in Canada. It's one of the countries I want to finally get myself in there and start working as a nurse. So I'm going to apply right away. So come with me and let's do that. And to be able to do that, you just have to subscribe. Also like my Facebook page, Ultimate Class 9, and let's take it from there. Thank you.